right, we're here with Michael Zerafa. Michael, I'm sure it's been a wild last few months for you. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, look, I feel good. My past doesn't define me. What's in the background for the future is what makes the man I am today.
Michael, let's first get into everything with your fight against Nikita Tszyu. Firstly, fight week. Credit to No Limit. They dished it out, really invested in the event. Got guys like Paulie Malignaggi, Sean Porter, Jimmy Lennon as well. How was that fight week in comparison to some of the other ones that you've been a part of?
Yeah, look, credit to No Limit and everyone that was involved. I mean, No Limit, I believe, do great things in the sport of boxing and for Australia. It was fun. I mean, me and Nikita's a character, so it was good going to the press conferences and all the face-offs and stuff like that. There was at one point we couldn't stop laughing at our face-offs. You know, it got pretty funny, pretty fun. But it was a shame the way it ended. I mean, I get it why people, why the backlash started, because obviously everyone paid good money and their hard-earned money on the event, and sadly, it wasn't the cut. It was just the headbutt. Actually affected my vision, and it's such a big fight. And in the spirit of the moment, I couldn't see, and it is what it is.
We'll get to that in a bit, but you've fought for world titles, you've fought overseas. Would you say this is the most attention you've had on yourself during a fight week?
No, I mean, I've always been the center of attention. I mean, they brand me that villain. They when I am quiet, they'll try to find a reason to start something or a no-show or something like that. But look, it was a crazy time. It was definitely crazy. But, I mean, like I said, I'm tough and we just keep rolling.
Yeah, let's talk about that opening round. You landed a few clean rights on him, including that three-piece combo. What was your assessment of the first round?
Look, I'll be honest with you, I felt real good. I felt like what everyone spoke of Nikita, I thought was wrong. I mean, everyone talked about this crazy big walk-down puncher, and I didn't really feel that. I mean, I came back in the first round. I felt comfortable. I said to my team, I've gotten my distance. I mean, it was such a short ending to the fight, but again, I felt good. I felt like I was up. And everyone's saying that I dogged the fight, which was not the case. If I was trying to dog the fight, I would have just seen it out another round and it would have gone to decision, after 4 rounds, and I would have won on technicalities, But I generally just had damage to the eye from the headbutt. It was I came forward, he came full speed ahead, and I just took damage. That was all.
The second round, Nikita was a lot more aggressive. Excluding that cut, what was your assessment of that second round?
No, again, same as the first. I mean, he definitely came out a little bit tougher, but I was cool, calm, collected. I felt like I still had my distance, still had my range. It was just generally when the headbutt landed, in such a big fight, in the spirit of the moment, I panicked and I generally couldn't see. Not the cut, I mean the blood. I love bloody fights. You've seen my Horn fights, and I fought world champions and had cuts and whatnot, but it was generally, to the damage to the eye. I couldn't see.
Yeah. And there were quite a few headbutts in that fight. There was 1 in the first, 2 in the second. That's quite a lot for a 6-minute fight. Do you reckon that was more on his end, your end, or that's just one of those things that can happen? I
mean, it was definitely more on his end. I tried to keep the distance, but I mean, again, that's boxing. Headbutts happen. That wasn't the issue. It was just generally the outcome of the headbutt. Again, landed straight in the corner of the eye, and yeah.
Is that a situation where you kind of just put on the spot? It's just such a heated environment, and you kind of just said what you said. You just fucked up with your choice of words.
Yeah, like I just generally couldn't remember what I said in terms of blurry or I can't see. I mean, in my vocabulary, it kind of means the same thing. You say it in a sentence when someone says read this, you say I can't see, it's blurry or whatever. But I couldn't remember what I said, and when they interviewed me, I was like, no, I'm certain that I said blurry, not I couldn't see. But watching it back, I get it. I get what it looks like and what it was. But people need to understand that it wasn't intentional. I didn't get any kickback ticket seats or pay-per-view purse. So it didn't go to me. So again, if I was in there to dog it, I would have just saw out the 4th round and gone to the decision. I believed I was up, but it wasn't the issue.
How's your eye feeling now?
Look, after the fight, two weeks after, I still had pretty bad trouble with it, and you saw afterwards it was swollen, closed. I couldn't see. It was actually kind of scary for a little bit, but again, we're all good now. I do apologise to everyone that did pay good money. It was a massive fight. I get it. It's a good fight. I still feel like it's a bigger fight now. I know people say they won't watch it or pay for it, but I believe it's a much bigger fight now, and I think he knows that I can beat him, because the way it did plan out for the first 6 minutes or 7 minutes.
Do you see that fight that could happen down the line, you v Nikita, or just either of the Tszyu?
Look, the bad blood, I get along with Nikita. Like, I didn't have a problem with Nikita. Nikita's actually a good kid, and I'm sure Tim is too, but the bad blood's between me and Tim. I mean, it's been ongoing for 5-6 years. But again, when we're not fighting each other, I wish them all the best. He's fighting this Sunday. I wish him all the best. Hopefully he can win another world title. Same with Nikita. And I hope they do the same when I fight for a world title. It's only the animosity and the competitiveness when we're fighting each other. That's where it is. And I'm the villain and the bad guy, and I feel like it's 2 against 1. There's brothers against me, and the Zerafa, Tszyu, show continues. But again, he's on his path. I'm on my path. I've got big things cooking at the moment. Hopefully we can pull that off. There's some mad things brewing at the moment.
I think the fight with Nikita now would be much bigger, because the first fight they try to manufacture it as bad blood, but there wasn't really bad blood. Now there's something really to sell.
Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, even in the ring, they were saying straight away, let's get the rematch, and Glenn Jennings and stuff said the same thing. But look, it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. He's doing his thing. I think he's fighting some guy now, and I'm in the preparations of fighting my guy. And who knows? Maybe in the near future there'll be a bigger fight.
Yeah. You obviously received a ton of backlash from fighters to managers, trainers, fans, everyone. How much did that take a toll on you mentally?
Look, I'm used to it now, but I mean, it was tough. I mean, because it was out of my control. I wasn't sitting there doing anything on purpose. It was generally out of my control. I wasn't the one that was throwing headbutts. I was the one that got headbutted. But like anything, it dies down quick, and there's a new athlete or a new person doing something wrong in the media that kind of took its attention away from me, which was good. But it was pretty tough, man, from death threats to everything, So, and like Tim said, we're all athletes. None of us deserve it. But yeah, man, we just keep rolling on with it.
When you're getting those death threats, is it hard to walk the streets? Are you looking over your shoulder?
No, not really, man. Like I said, a lot of people, keyboard warriors and stuff like that, they get on there and throw hate and whatnot. But yeah, man, I just worry about what I got to do.
Yeah, you've had a lot of shit thrown at you throughout your career. Was there anything even close to this?
Oh, look, this was probably the worst. I mean, when they said they did the no-show with Tim and Dolman, and I mean, there's always something. I feel like whether you love or you hate me, I feel like the sport needs me. Without me, there's no one to kind of criticise, or there's no, bad blood, or there's no one to throw hate at. So I feel like the sport needs me, but this was probably the worst, one of the worst, yeah.
How's your headspace now?
No, it's good, man. Like I said, I haven't done anything. This is what I remind myself. I haven't done anything to physically hurt or harm anybody. So I know like people are pissed off and, they may not support my career or whatever, but I generally haven't done anything to them. So I know that the hate isn't as real as, something terribly wrong. You know what I mean? Like something I've done bad or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have any response to people saying that you quit or were looking for a way out?
No, look, I'm not looking for validation. If I try to change their mind, it's just going to make it worse. People can believe what they want. I mean, I fought everybody. I've been in their backyards. I fought Cal Brook. I fought everybody, and if people think I'm scared of a bit of blood, watch the 2 Jeff Horn fights in itself.
Around 4 days after the fight, your old rival Tim Tszyu came out and pretty much said that the Backlash had gone too far. How did it feel having an old rival like Tim come out and pretty much telling everyone to take it easy on you?
Oh, no, look, I did the same thing for him because, when he fought Fundura and he did the same thing, he didn't want to come out and see round 8 or round 9 or whatever it was, and everyone was hammering him saying, he quit and sat on his stool. And
I don't think too many people said that he quit in the Australian media. Nothing to like what happened with you.
Tim Tszyu?
Tim Tszyu.
What are you fucking watching? He definitely did. I mean...
No, I'm saying in the media, though. He didn't really get that much criticism, not even close.
No, I'm talking about the public. The public was saying it, So I came out and did the same thing, like Tim Tszyu, keep your head high. you're a warrior. We have our days, despite our differences, man, get back in the ring and do your thing. So I did the same thing for him, and I respect him doing the same thing for me because, again, at the end of the day, we're athletes. We're out there to entertain the public and do, put on a great fight night for the fight fans. And sometimes it doesn't go to, their way or the way the fight was supposed to pan out, and people turn quickly. But credit to Tim for doing that. And like I said, I've done the same for him in the past, and he's right, People shouldn't be copping that, no matter what.
And more recently, Eddie Hearn came out and backed you up and said that you're a tough fighter and that he believes you were injured. How did it feel having a guy like Eddie Hearn, the biggest boxing promoter in the world, coming out and backing you up?
Well, like I said, man, the best things come from people that know boxing. And Eddie's one of them. Eddie, I've dealt with Eddie. I was probably one of the first Aussies to deal with Eddie. Back when I was 24, 25 years old with Cal Brook and further negotiations. But, like I said, he knows boxing. He knows that I'd never shy away from a fight. I've never shied away from a fight, regardless of people think I've ran away and didn't do a no-show. And people believe what they read. People believe what they see and hear, and that's not the case. I was good. I said credit to Eddie. I get along with Eddie. We've had conversations as well. I like what Eddie does. Without him, boxing would be not where it is today, I believe.
And now you've parted ways with No Limit. Was that a mutual agreement? Was it more on their end, or did you ask for your release?
No, look, it was mutual. I want to thank No Limit for obviously giving me the platform, and they do great things. I just felt like sometimes it just didn't align. They wanted sometimes always the bad guy and the villain, and sometimes I was tired of doing that. So I think it was just mutual agreement. I do my thing and they do their thing, and I wish them nothing but the best.
All right, let's get on to the good stuff now. News came out that you're in talks to fight Chris Eubank Jr. in Melbourne. Can you tell us how this got presented to you, and how serious are these talks?
Yeah, look, they're very serious. Team Eubank reached out to me in 2024 to fight on a Riyadh show. I was one of 4 opponents, and obviously they didn't go with me back then. They went with someone else, which was sweet. So I kind of closed that book and continued on with my journey. But the last 2 weeks, we've been back in negotiations and heavy talks. And Team Eubank manager has done multiple interviews with Fight Hype and Noonan and stuff like that to talk about the logistics of this fight. They're definitely real. They're definitely keen. He wants to come to Australia, and we want to welcome him in Australia. That this is. So I'm not looking for a redemption fight, but this is for myself, a moving forward fight. I could fight anybody. Being offered other fights in Australia, like your Brock Jarvis's and your Mazzudias and other top guns, in Aussie boxing. But for me, I wanted to do something that's kind of never been done before, and we're in heavy talks. We've both agreed. Dev team have agreed. I've agreed. It all just comes down to the financials now, which we've got heavy backing through the government, through sponsorships, through everything like that. And it's looking very, very good later in the year.
Okay. So you have spoken to a promoter who's willing to finance the event? Yeah,
we've spoke to a few. Again, it all comes down to the right backing and how much they can give us. But at the moment, everything's definitely looking great. I spoke to him yesterday, and Eubank's keen. He's just had twin boys. Congratulations if you see this. But like I said, man, once he's not done being a dad, but once he's got a bit of downtime away from the newborns, he can start camp and we get into it.
Yeah. We obviously know that box is going to be involved. I'm not going to ask you who the main promoter is expected to be, but can you reveal if they're going to be an international or an Australian promoter?
Both. Okay, I can't say too much, but there's heavy talks overseas, heavy talks here. And man, like I said, with the hard part's done, getting them to agree, they've agreed, they want it, we want it. It's been done before. Kambosos, set that bar super high, with the Haney fights and the Loma fights, and then Horn with Pacquiao as well. So I believe if it goes ahead and it's looking likely, this is up there with them. Eubank and Zerafa fight, both top 10 in the world. Ranked across sanctioning bodies. He's done what he's done. I've done what I've done. That press conference is going to be definitely a good trash talk press conference.
Man, Eubank, we obviously know talks in the millions. He reportedly got 10 million, and that's US for his last fight with Ben. I know that had to do with a rivalry and Turkey footing the bill. Given all that, how likely is it that you reckon this fight will actually happen?
Well, at the moment, like I said, it's a done deal. In terms of just getting the backing, in terms of financials, that's all we're missing. We've spoken to venues, we've spoken to promoters, we've spoken to his team. It just comes down to reaching the mark that they want, and he's not cheap. But I'm grateful for the corner that we've got and the people we have that are backing us. And like I said, I want to go out there and shock the world.
The talk is that this fight's going to be at a catch weight at 164 pounds. Is that true?
Look, it's not confirmed yet. I know that he doesn't want to come to middleweight, and I know I don't want to go to super middle. But nothing's confirmed yet. It's just been briefly touched on, but nothing confirmed yet.
How would you feel about fighting him at the catch weight, knowing that he's a pretty big middleweight as it is? He'll have a fair size advantage.
100%. I'm a small middleweight. I mean, everyone tells me, from trainers to family to promoters. So I'll even be out of my depth, I think, at 168. But who knows? Like I said, if money talks, if there's the right money or the right belt on the line, and we go up to 168. I've made it quite clear that I'm not going up to 168, but I mean, who knows?
I saw some rumblings that this could be a stadium show. Has there been any official talk of that, or you haven't gotten to that stage of the negotiations yet?
We have on our end. We've spoke to numerous people for hosting the event. And we've told Team Eubank, and they're super keen. He said to me, I've actually got text messages. He said, let's get it on, and I'll bring all the Brits over, and we'll get a massive showdown. He goes, we'll make this huge.
When will this fight roughly take place?
Well, look, respectfully, he has just had twin boys, and I'm a respectful and reasonable guy, so that comes obviously first. Family's always first, but they said August, September, so maybe I'll get a tune-up. Or we just sign the deal and we just go heavy overseas in a camp, and we work towards August, September.
Yeah. And what do you make of Chris Eubank as a fighter and what he's accomplished in the sport?
Oh man, look, the name's royalty in the sport. His old man's an absolute legend. I still pinch myself at the thought of him being at the weigh-ins and the press conferences and dancing his way to the ring. But look, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's done great things for the sport. He brings a crowd. He's turned eyes. He's made money. All those guys, Ben, Eubank, they've all done great things for the sport.
What do you make of both of the Conor Ben fights?
As in, man, they were phenomenal. I watched them both. Chris looked great in his first fight. Second fight, I think, he was just a bit malnutrition, a bit drained, a bit mentally cooked. But you got Ben that's in front of him, who's a little pit bull, So a good fight. Hopefully they get a third. Maybe he fights me, and if I don't whoop him, he can go and fight Conor Ben in a third.
Where do you reckon he's most dangerous?
He's a tough one because he's a bit inconsistent. Some days he comes on, he boxes really well. Then there's some days where he puts the pressure and he tries to knock you out. And then there's days where he looks completely off. Like his last fight against Conor Ben. But it all comes down to the day. How he feels mentally, his reasons. Now he's got two boys, maybe that puts a bit more fire in his belly. I don't know. But I know that his name to me is a world title. So I'm going to be hungry for it.
And without giving too much away, where do you reckon you can get him?
Look, I always back myself. I back myself in any situation. I do my best work when everyone's against me. I feel like I do my best performing when I'm the underdog and when I've been ruled out of the fight. I love that, because you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, but it's also got a point to prove for me, So I feel like when everyone's against me, that's when I'll shine. And I know everyone will be against me in this fight.
Do you reckon a win over a global star like Chris Eubank will raise everything in the eyes of the Australian public for what happened to you back in January?
Nah, look, I feel like no matter, even if I had beaten Nikita that night, they would have said, he's inexperienced, he's not Tim. And I feel like I've always got to do something amazing to get someone's approval. But I've stopped trying to find people getting people's approval. It's just whether you love or you hate me, I feel like you'll watch me. You either watch me to win or you watch me to lose.
Yeah. And man, that middleweight division is wide open right now. The IBF belt is vacant. I think Janibek's also going to be stripped of the WBA. Adamez is probably going to vacate his belt. He's moving up. Do you reckon a win over Eubank will lead you to a world title shot?
Well, look, I'm top 10 in the world. In the world ranking, he's a little bit ahead of me. In the sanctioning bodies, I think I'm ahead of him in 2 of them. Having his name on my resume would definitely elevate me. It will turn heads. It will definitely get bigger and better promoters reaching out. And yeah, I feel like it will solidify me in the history books, I reckon, yeah.
Given all the vacant belts currently, has there been any talk about this fight being a middleweight and for a world title?
No, nothing yet, no.
No? Okay. And when I interviewed you back in January, you dropped Saavedra's name as a possible opponent that you could fight for a world title against. He's fighting for, I think, an interim belt tomorrow. Is that still a fight that would interest you?
100%. I mean, Saavedra's done great things. He's a big unit, a strong boy. And that was the plans, obviously, with No Limit, because I think No Limit have ties with him as well. And that was the path of, bringing back a world title to Australia. But sadly, I've got to do it the tough way. And I've always done it the tough way. And, I'm not going to stop doing it the tough way. And yeah, like I said, anyone that elevates me, I'm willing to fight.
In a perfect world, if you beat Eubank, which fighter would you most want to fight for a world title against? In a perfect world.
As in current?
Current, yeah, sure.
I mean, look, I'd love to... Lara, he's a bad man and he put me to sleep, and full credit to him and stuff like that. But I'd love to get my redemption against Lara. I mean, I feel like as great as he is and a phenomenal boxer and a massive fan of him, I feel like it was a great Lara, but it was also an off-mark Zerafa. I'd love to get my shot there and try to redeem myself against the champ. But again, anyone that's got the world title, anyone that gives me that opportunity, I'll be grateful to fight for it.
Yeah. Just two more. What's your prediction for this fight with Chris Eubank? How would you see it going down?
Look, I never like to call fights. I never like to say I'm going to knock anybody out or anything like that. It would be a very hard fight, very competitive fight. But I think it'll be one of those ones where it'll shock the fight fans. I think it'll be an early finish.
You serious?
I don't know which way it will go, but I don't think it's going to be a 12-round war. I reckon it's going to be one of those like a Zerafa Hardman or a Lara Zerafa. It'll be one of those kind of fights. You know what I mean?
Mike, last one from me, man. Do you have any message to the Australian boxing fans? They've been waiting to hear from you for such a long time. Do you have anything more to say about what they should expect from Michael Zerafa going forward, whether this fight happens with Eubank or not?
Look, I just want to thank everyone that shows their love and support. My small circle, my sponsors, my team, everybody that is a part of Team Zerafa. Thank you, and those guys that throw hate consistently. Thank you, I guess. He puts more fuel on the fire. But again, I just want to apologise for obviously the last outing. It wasn't meant to go that way. It was meant to be my hand raised that night, and it's a shame. But fingers crossed we get a rematch, and people don't give up on Team Zerafa just yet.
Michael, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, bro. Cheers.